meeting to order, July 13th, 10:16 a.m. We have a quorum. Motion to approve minutes of prior committee meetings. Who would like to bring that to the floor?
Moved. That's Bramer.
Okay, moved by Bramer, second by Simpson. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? None. Motion carries. First order of business is a request to apply for a local emergency management performance COVID-19 supplemental grant. Brian, are you presenting this or is Amy?
I'll get it started, and if you need details, she'll be the one.
Okay, thank you, Brian. You have the floor.
All right, thank you, Chairman. We received information, unfortunately, at very, very short notice of this grant, and looking through things that we felt were important and verifying with our representatives at the state that the plan that we had was viable and okay. We would like to proceed with applying for this grant. The reason we're having this special meeting today is the grant is due on the 16th, which is 3 days from now. If you see that, you'll see that it's also before the board meeting. So we're looking to see if we can get the approval from this committee to apply for this grant. We're not committing anything other than we would like to apply for. It is a 50-50 grant with a match, and that match would be covered as a soft match by Amy's salary. So really all we're looking for is the ability to approve, or to apply for this grant.
Okay, is that move? Are you moving it, Matthew?
I'll move it to the floor for discussion, yes.
Thank you,
For a
Supervisor
second.
Simpson. Is there a second? Supervisor Sieber, thank you. It's on the floor for discussion. Any questions? And Brian, you're going to figure out everything that's going to be done in this grant? You're in the application process figuring that out?
Yeah, we've already worked that out, and we're looking at a piece of disinfecting equipment. It has to be COVID related. And we're looking at a piece of equipment that would be capable of being used by all the departments in the county, as well as things like the sheriff's vehicles and those kinds of items. So that's the piece of equipment we're looking at. And we did run that by our representative at the state, and they felt that that was viable. Amy, am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Supervisor Sieber?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Brian, with a grant, it's very specific in there. It will allow salaries as an.
We do this on a number of grants where we use salary as the soft match. We try really hard in any of our grants to make sure that we're not using cash for any of our 50-50 part of it, our share. So that works very well for us, and we have the ability to do that with this grant.
Okay, so back to my question, it does say that you can use it for that, and you can't use one person's salary for multiple grants though, right?
Not at the same time, no.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions here for the director?
There's a question here, Supervisor.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jack Diamond. Brian, I've got a question also around the matching funding. You said the salaries, the soft costs are coming out of salaries. What particular salary that we appropriated monies for that we don't need at this point in time for employees' performance?
It's not that we don't need it. It's a salary that we pay as part of her annual salary. We can use that as a soft match that says that we are using dollars for that. It's not that money that is set aside or money that isn't being used. It's
if the money's going to be used for a soft match, what happens to the remainder of the monies that would have been appropriated for the salary?
I guess I'm not understanding.
Well, it sounds like we're using somebody's salary as the soft match for the purchase of this particular equipment. Now, if that individual is going to be remaining employed here, if we use a portion of her salary, is she taking a cut in pay? I just don't understand how you can use someone's portion of their salary for a matching grant.
Wait. It's not that they're not having to distribute that money somewhere. It's just saying we have this money that goes towards her salary, which they are going to accept as our share of the match.
I get that, but what happens if she has 80, so let me give you an example.
She's still getting paid. She's still getting paid all that money. That's her salary.
So then why did we appropriate more for her salary?
They're not making us do that to get the grant. Right?
If I may, Amy has a salary. She has job duties. This is one of them. So she will be devoting about $7,000 worth of her time being paid by the county. And when we go in for reimbursement on this grant, we'll say $7,000 worth of her time was used, and that's our 50% match. And they'll throw in, they'll cover $7,000 worth of other equipment. Is that, do I have?
Yeah, you explained it. That answers my question. Thank you.
Yeah. Brian, was I about right on that?
Yes, sir. Amy, go ahead.
Hey, Amy.
Hi. Okay, just to clarify a few things. The dollar amount, the up to $14,364, that's what the feds will reimburse the state and hence reimburse us. So it's a total of $28,728 as far as the soft kind match and what the feds will reimburse us. So the portion of my salary will be $14,364 worth of COVID-related, very specific COVID-related things. So in addition to the stuff that I normally do, I will be doing additional duties very specific to this grant so that we will be in compliance with it to receive or to fulfill the soft kind match so that we can receive the $14,000 and change.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Then I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, motion carries. Any other pending items?
I'm good right now. Thank you.
Okay. So any other information for discussion review? While we have you, how is the Office of Emergency Services doing through all this right now?
We're doing quite well. Amy and I are sharing duties, coming in and out, working from home. Our clerk, Jen, is working Monday, Wednesday, Friday for about 4 hours. Other than that, she's working from home. We'll ramp that up as necessary. Right now, one of the big portions of what we do is the resources that the state gives us and that we are in turn trying to get out to those in need. Seeing you've brought it up, I will mention one thing. All indications from the state are, unfortunately, that PPE, protection equipment, I'm not seeing us getting any more of that. The state has not come out in writing and told us that, but pretty much in all the discussions that we have across the state and our countywide conference calls, the answer from the state is you guys should be buying your own stuff. You guys should be stockpiling your own stuff. So I have a feeling that that's something that is something we're going to have to deal with. I mentioned this to the administrator, not that this is a major deal for us, but for agencies, i.e. the squads and some of those people who have been relying on our supplies to augment what they need, that may become a scenario for them where they're, the costs are going to be back in their lap. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. Individual departments here in the county, public health and the sheriff's office, are already set up to do that as they were before this happened. But it's just something to think about, that this may affect people's budgets. There's going to be, obviously, we're using a lot more resources than we did before. So budget line items for these types of things may not be the same as they were last year. So I just want everybody to be aware of that. Hand sanitizer, it seems like there's no problem getting it. However, now we've been told that there is a schedule where they will stop making that. Hence our decision to stockpile some here, and what we have room for. But again, I don't know where we're going with this. We don't know what's going to happen if we get another surge or something happens in the fall. But it concerns me that the state basically is backing away as far as supplying us with things. So I just want everybody to be aware of that. We haven't received anything from them other than the thermometers and the hand sanitizer for almost 5 weeks. So I just want everybody to be aware of that.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. And as budget season comes up, those are things to keep in mind, isn't it?
Well, so for someone like you, Supervisor Leggett, who has a squad, you know, what they used to purchase for protective equipment and what they have to buy now is not the same. The level of equipment they need and how often they need it, before when specific patients needed it, and now we do every patient. So I just want, especially the town supervisors, to be aware of that.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments from the public?
Good morning, Supervisor Leggett. No comments from the public on YouTube.
Okay, thank you, Don. Supervisor Seaver, your hand. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to say to Brian, one, thanks. Obviously, I'm sure we all are in agreement. What a great job you're doing. But I really want to highlight the fact that not only have you included the entire board in making sure that we have an opportunity to reach out to small businesses, not-for-profits, but individuals themselves with both the mask and the hand sanitizer, but it was also very helpful to be able to say to them, like, this is an opportunity we've had as a county to help you get started until your supplies come in, or for an individual who may not be able to get out or afford a mask. It's been an incredible opportunity for our residents and our taxpayers to see some of what the county is able to provide, and what our role is as well. And I think that because you've been so accommodating and educational to us, and particularly to me, Brian, I just wanted to make sure I took an opportunity to recognize that effort amongst all of our 20 supervisors, and to the extreme that you've gone to make sure that we all have that opportunity for our residents. So thank you.
Thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. I will give you one case in point. We started out giving some product to Gina up at the Lake George Chamber of Commerce, and it very quickly turned into a scenario where she was helping out the businesses that were opening up that didn't have hand sanitizer, that needed to open up, or needed you know, some masks for their employees. And we've been able to support her and the information center. Someone from the public from outside the area comes up, goes into the information center, they don't have a mask. We're able to supply them with that. And it's not a huge amount of material. It's actually very small, but they've taken on the job of dispensing it. And I got to tell you, it's that's worked out very well. That's just one case where how this is working out.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. I'm sure there's many others as well. And to follow up on what Supervisor Seaver said, we all thank you for what you're and your office are doing, you and Amy and Jen and others involved. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If there's no other items to come before the board this time, motion to adjourn will be entertained. Who'd like to make that?
I'll move that.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Thank you,
Thank you.
and good luck with the grant.